weeks ago, well, probably about a month now, we received an email from a listener on the West Coast that said, Josh, there's a bunch of weird noises going on out here, and nobody really knows what they are. And then, we just kind of, well, that's kind of odd, and we just kind of let it go. And then a couple weeks later, we got an email, hey, Josh, in Wisconsin, I'm hearing some things. They sound like sirens or horns. And I'm like, what? And then we got a caller that said in Wisconsin they heard some booms. And, we kind of cover basic topics here, politics, news, social issues, and all that sort of stuff. But I couldn't ignore it anymore. We kept getting, responses from, yeah, Josh, I'm hearing it too. So I thought, well, let's just kind of cut to the bottom of this. Who do we turn to kind of figure out what's going on? And everywhere we looked, one name kept coming up, and that name was Linda Moulton Howe. Now, she is an award-winning journalist. She has a degree from Stanford University in communications. She is regularly heard on Coast to Coast AM. She's been involved in documentary films and television shows talking about issues that most of the mainstream just avoids. And she joins us to talk about this. Welcome to the show, ma'am. How are you doing?
Well, thank you, Josh, and thank you for that intro, because since I graduated from Stanford, where I did documentaries with the Stanford Medical Center, the Stanford Linear Accelerator, my career as an investigative journalist and reporter has always been in science, medicine, and the environment. That's how I came to investigate the animal mutilation phenomena and did documentaries and a series of reports that led to my contracting with Home Box Office to work on an hour special for them. And my career has always been in those same subjects, but as time has evolved, the strangeness, what I call the high strangeness of this planet, has also evolved and increased. And I have, since 1999, in addition to my television work, radio work, books, and all of that, I began a website. It's a news website called earthfiles.com with the goal of continuing the science, environment, and medical reports, especially breakthroughs, but also including in that the work and investigations that I have always tried to do in the field of earth mysteries and high strangeness that I know are grounded in hard fact and that we should all be paying attention. So it was in January of 2011. My website had been up and is still evolving from 1999 to now, and everybody knows that at Earth Files, they can email me at earthfiles@earthfiles.com and send me stories to check, and that I sometimes will do interviews to follow up and get reported on Coast to Coast and other media. So there was a lot of media. That included Fox, CNN, the networks, around New Year's Day going into January 1 and 2 of 2011, about 75,000 red-winged blackbirds falling out of the sky in Beebe, Arkansas, and then further south over the next week, there were hundreds of thousands of birds that were falling out of the sky dead. No one knew why. I talked with some investigators, and associated with that phenomena of the birds falling out of the sky, people were reporting loud booms, shaking windows, shaking roofs, and were not, you would think, fireworks on New Year's Eve. These were at times that had nothing to do with the midnight firing of fireworks. So now, from that point of this strange and multiple media reported events, January 1st going into January of 2011, today, as we speak on May 8th, 2014, I've done probably 75 reports with interviews recorded with people all over the United States and Canada especially, and I'll try to give you a sense of how confusing and weird all of this is, and it is a phenomena that persists today. I get probably 20 to 30 reports every month.
Wow.
And they are from people that are coming from areas of the United States where this, we'll call it the boom phenomena, has persisted in cycles. Now, it isn't just booms.
No,
I'm swallowing
it's
some
like
coffee because I'm feeling a cough.
Oh, no worries.
After this series of booms in 2011, starting again in January of 2012, believe it or not, the same thing happened on New Year's Eve in Beebe, Arkansas, in the central United States. Thousands of birds fell out of the sky again, and it was associated with booms. Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
No problem.
And when the booms in 2012 were being reported again with no explanation, and that means police, 911, fire are all called by people. USGS is consulted in all of these reports. There are no seismic activity. The military bases are called by media. No planes are up in the air breaking sound barriers, and that's why the boom phenomena kept increasing in strangeness. Then, in 2012, after another January of these booms associated with the new year, I started getting reports. It's somebody wakes up in the middle of the night, and it sounds like they're hearing a trumpet, exact sound of a trumpet,
yes.
Or this is the most common other phrase. It sounded like a road grader was right outside of my bedroom pushing the blade on metal. Now, you've got three categories of bizarre sounds, and the metallic sound and the trumpet sound first originated in Europe. The best is a 12-minute recording that was done in Kiev, Ukraine, that we know today because of all of the problems with Russia. But in 2012, for the very first time, all of us who had been trying to understand what is happening with all these sounds, we started getting emails from people saying, have you heard on YouTube some of the sounds that are being posted from Europe? And that's how I came to discover Kiev, Ukraine, an amazing recording done on the 9th floor of an apartment in Kiev by a woman who worked for a video production company there, and she had a video camera in her apartment. And she starts hearing this strange trumpet-like sound, picks up her video that would run audio and walks to the balcony and starts videotaping for almost 12 minutes. And it is the most haunting of all of the sounds recorded in the world. It has been recorded by a few people in Texas and other parts of the United States, more distant, and I began getting calls in 2012 from people in Tennessee, the Midwest, areas where one woman, I'll give you an example, she was packing her car. It's
well, Linda,
noon.
hold on. I want to get to that example, but I have to get to this commercial break first. So I want to get to the example with Linda Moulton Howe right after this. Don't go anywhere, folks. I feel like we just started down a rabbit hole. We're talking to Linda Moulton Howe. Her website, earthfiles.com, all one word, earthfiles.com. Linda, before the break, you were about to tell us the testimony of somebody, and then we had to take a little break. Can you pick up where you left off, please?
Right. I was laying out that this phenomena has been going on in terms of a beginning in all of my work in January of 2011, and we're talking on May 8, 2014. And the boom phenomena, the trumpet sounds, and the metallic scraping sounds have been going on and increasing, especially in the last year. I did an interview only a couple of months ago with a man who had worked in the Wyoming government, very responsible, and he called and said, I've got to share with you something that it has haunted me, and I have never known who to talk to, which is a strange situation in the United States of America. Everybody should feel that they can report anything that is valid, and especially if you've worked in a state government, but he was afraid to because because he was up on a trip, sort of a quasi-vacation and hunting trip in the mountains of Wyoming, north of Casper. And he's just out by himself on a beautiful, clear, sunny day when he said at first it sounded like he heard this strange sound, which other people have also heard that. And then he said, to his complete disbelief, it was as if he was 100 or 360 degrees surrounded by the sound of something like a trumpet blasting with a metallic sound scraping quality. He couldn't figure it out. And then he looked up, and there was a black triangle. He drew it for me. He said it was moving at such a rate that when he saw it, and he also had aviation experience and a pilot, he said this thing, this black triangle, was at one end of the horizon and went to the other in what he thought was no more than 2 or 3 seconds. And he said, Linda, that's not possible, not with anything we have terrestrial. And he said, in my mind, I associate the appearance of this strange black triangle moving so rapidly in the sky with this sound. But the sound, he said, whatever it was that went over me, the sound stayed for a while. And this is giving you a sense that people who are very professional have reported to me, first with reluctance, but because of state government or I've had scientists, I've had others reporting this. I have begun to be sort of a crossroads now for a lot of these reports coming to me. And 1 year ago, exactly, almost, in June of 2013, I received first an email and then a phone call from a man, gave me his background, address, phone number, everything, said, but you can't record me. But I want you to have this information because I have a colleague who is working at Hill Air Force Base. He's a geophysicist. And he says our government in the United States has been studying the relationship between changes in the core of this planet Earth and sounds that they are picking up on instruments in which they think infrasound is being generated inside of the Earth, going through the mantle, out the crust, up to the ionosphere, and bouncing back. Well, I have never heard of any boom reports or metallic scrapings or trumpet sounds before January of 2011, and I said that to him. And he said that's true because what they've been studying is emanations in infrasound, which usually humans cannot hear, but dogs, cats, elephants can. So then what this led to was more information coming from this alleged whistleblower who was working through an intermediary to let me know that whatever is going on in the Earth, it's accelerating and that they have some concern. Well, then I took all of that to a professor of geophysics at Stanford University where I did my master's degree, Professor Ariana Gleason. She's a PhD. She's in the Department of Geological and Environmental Sciences at Stanford University. You can't be in a more credible and respectable institution on the planet than that. And I explained the whole thing, and I did not know what the science would be, but she, last year, had been published about her studies of changes in the central core of the Earth, which I knew nothing about till I interviewed her because of the whistleblower. And it turns out that there really are measurements that seem to suggest that the inner core and the outer core of our planet has changed from a sphere spinning to something that is now more oblong, and they think it is causing infrasound coming through the Earth. And is it related to all of the sinkholes that have been increasing? The suggestion has been it might be. Is this infrasound related to all of the booms, the metallic scrapings, the trumpet sounds? The question mark is hanging there. That's what the geophysicist was implying. The Stanford University geophysicist said, I cannot rule this out as a hypothesis because, and this is the part that is so relevant to this phenomenon, she said, we know that infrasound can be generated by the lava in a liquid state, molten lava, moving up through the mantle of the Earth out to the crust, breaking out into volcanoes, and that infrasound, in some circumstances, could go up to the ionosphere, be bounced back, and where it is bounced back to the surface of the Earth could perhaps at certain points be heard as audible, actually loud sounds. That was a breakthrough because this is hard geophysics at Stanford University coming to meet a whistleblower, which in journalism, the whistleblowers can help you a lot, but then the journalist is left with proving it. And you need hard evidence. You need people who are willing to go on the record to back up leaks. So now, since 1 year ago, I have been talking with others who are in geophysics. I did an interview last month with a man who is an infrasound expert. They are learning, Josh, the most interesting things that is current research in 2014 that people have never studied before. That infrasound is emanated from a whole host of things, and could it be generated from something that is changing inside of the Earth and being translated into the booms, the metallic scraping sounds. Here is the kicker of current research, the geophysics research at Stanford and the whistleblower. Infrasound can, under certain circumstances, when it collides with something called a Rayleigh wave, which can be generated by changes in the Earth's crust, when those two come together, it can be like a megaphone, it can be like a boom, and it can be as isolated as one house or two houses or larger. And here, for your listeners, this has been the biggest mystery to me. I interviewed maybe in the last 3 years 50, 60, 70 people. The vast majority would say, we ran out of our house expecting to see our neighbors. Our walls are shaking, the floors are shaking, the ceiling is shaking, the windows. A police officer in Georgia told me that he had his own garage door knocked out of the garage track by a boom that he heard at lunchtime. He was on duty but went home for lunch. So how could this be that people will run out, have physical evidence and sometimes even cracks in their sidewalk, and nobody is coming out of the neighborhood? And I say to them as a reporter, would you please go and interview the people in your neighborhood, see if you can find anybody else who heard this that I can interview, because multiple ear witnesses are stronger. Everybody goes,
hey, Linda,
nobody has heard anything, and they say, how can this be? How can our house be the only one?
Linda, hold on 1 second. We're up against another break, but it just makes sense to me then that would also explain, or possibly explain, why we're seeing such a rise in earthquake activity over the past 6-7 months too. And I want to get your response to that. So folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Linda Moulton Howe. All right, we're talking to Linda Moulton Howe about the weird noises that people around the country and around the world are reporting. We were kind of up against the break there when we were talking about, could this possibly be linked to the rise of seismic activity that we've seen just in the past 6 or 7 months? I mean, it's crazy how much of an increase has happened. And, you know, during the break, Linda, I was telling you about a caller we had from Wisconsin, and you brought up a time correlation, too. So in this last segment, can you cover how this relates to the earthquake activity the world seems to be experiencing lately, and how this seems to be a pattern?
Josh, that whistleblower, which was a year ago, said they were expecting there to be an increase in seismic and volcanic activity because of what they were measuring. When the last 12 months have been unfolding the way they have, every day I am being reminded about that haunting statement, because so many more people are reporting these booms, shaking their walls, all of this, and this strange, where it can be just focused on a building or a house. That's always been confusing until now, recent research about how infrasound might be so targeted. But the seismic explanation here is another disconnect that is so strange. In Clintonville, Wisconsin, you're in Wisconsin, and you guys, all your viewers, probably remember that in March of 2012, the first national reporting about the strange booms was on all of the networks focused on Clintonville, Wisconsin. And it began on Sunday to Monday, March 18th to 19th, 2012. And this was a series of booms so loud that night in the dark, out came the city administrator, Lisa Kuss. She was interviewed by Fox and CNN and everyone later, and all of her city authorities, because they were getting phone calls from the police and others, getting hundreds of calls from people in Clintonville, Wisconsin, saying that there is a loud boom, and its strongest times were 1:45 a.m., even though the first calls began at 9:30, but hundreds of people were calling at 1:45 a.m., 5:30 a.m., 7:15 a.m. on March 19th, and that's why the city administrator, and the authorities got out in the night, and she told me in an interview, as far as I know, was the first person to interview her and then get it on the radio and at Earth Files, that she was walking on a sidewalk in an area where a man had said it sounded like a car crashed into the cement sidewalk or the side of his house. That was the interesting description. And she said she was walking in that sidewalk area. They were seeing cracks. And she said suddenly there was this loud boom sound, and the bottom of her feet, the city administrator in Clintonville, Wisconsin, hurt from a slap on the bottom of her feet on the sidewalk. But it didn't happen only once. It happened a second time at another one of the booms. So now the city administrator is one of the people who becomes an ear witness and an eyewitness to what is going on. This went on for 10 days in Clintonville. They were having constant shaking of houses and buildings. They were constantly going out. They went immediately to the United States Geological Survey and said, "What are we dealing with?" And the survey came back repeatedly saying there is no seismic activity. Meanwhile, in other parts of the United States, while Clintonville, Wisconsin is finally becoming a Fox, CNN, ABC, CBS, NBC, they're getting this attention on the boom phenomena in Clintonville, Wisconsin. This was expanding out into other areas of Wisconsin, and there were reports in San Diego, there were reports in the Midwest, there were reports all over the place while this was happening in Clintonville. And then the strangest thing happened. About 10 days into this, she held a press conference, and she brought in some city authorities and said to this press conference, there were over 100 citizens who came, that they now had a 1.6 seismic recording at the USGS. So it has to be seismic activity. Go away, everybody. There's no mystery here. Well, that was completely wrong. That was a political move to get the public and the media off the city's back. There was no answer to what was happening in Clintonville. There would be no explanation with a 1.6 seismic event. Even if it happened, it would not explain 10 days. It would not explain the slap on the bottom of her own feet twice. Now, adding to the complete and total confusion of what was going on was only 4 days before all of that activity in Clintonville that made all of the networks finally, only 4 days before in Georgia, southeastern Georgia. And I always reference this because 5 counties, thousands of people. I'm looking at the headline right here from news4jax.com. Something shakes Southeast Georgia. Report of loud boom, earth-shaking reports come from 5 counties all at the same time. There was a police officer, Todd Rhodes. He told Channel 4, quote, It was a noise that literally shook our home, the police officer. There was some panic there because when you hear a noise that far-reaching, and you're not only hearing it, but you're feeling it, you don't know what it is, and you're saying, what is this? Well, they went to the U.S. Geological Survey, 5 counties, 911, police, everybody. And the USGS says no seismic evidence of any earthquake, and the Naval Submarine Base in Kings Bay said, quote, we weren't conducting any operations that would have caused sonic booms or an explosion. They went to about 12 places. Nothing, Josh. This is a true mystery.
It is, and I only have 2 minutes. I wish I had 2 more hours. So 2 things that come to mind. One, okay, so we know this is linked to the increase of seismic activity. We know this is linked to the noises, the sounds, the horns, the metal, the booms. Should we be worried? Like, should people be running for hills? And 2, is this something that could be related to that caldera in Yellowstone? Because that's been getting a lot of attention too.
Well, now we are back to the whistleblower. That the reason that I was told that the intermediary was contacting me is that I've been doing all those boom reports, that they were worried that there would be an increase in earthquakes and volcanic activity, and at the top of their list of the greatest worry was Yellowstone. And right now, I can at least assure all listeners that all of the geophysicists at the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory that I've talked with a lot of scientists there, they say as long as the seismic activity stays in the 1.6 to 2.6 in that range, which is happening in Oklahoma, they're getting hundreds and hundreds of seismic reports in Oklahoma and have for the last 3 months. As long as the seismic activity is staying low, if you hear about anything getting up to a 5 or higher, even 1 in Yellowstone Park, it is really time to pay attention.
You know, this is just, I was hoping you'd come on and be like, yeah, Josh, this is simple. We're testing a new jet technology, or, you know.
No, it's not simple. And at some point we should do another show because this keeps evolving.
So, you know, one word or less, you know, it's kind of a pun, but yes or no, should people be worried at this point?
They should be paying attention, seriously paying attention to the boom reports around them and to seismic increases, and report to me, Earthfiles at earthfiles.com. I have a comprehensive series of reports in depth right now, and I'm looking for more information because we're not getting it from the government. We need to help each other, so everybody report to Earthfiles at earthfiles.com what's happening.
Linda Moulton Howe, thank you so much for joining us. Increased activity, increase of odd noises, increase of sinkholes, increase of downpours. Man, it's getting kind of crazy on this planet, isn't it? All right, that does it for today, my friends. Remember, no victim, no crime. Look into jury nullification. Today, tomorrow, and as always, may your path lead to heaven, and may freedom follow in your footsteps.